Want to give a shout out to all of my patrons. Thank you so much for all of the continued support. Hey everybody, it is the first of the month, and that means it is time to talk about my July to be read list, commonly referred to as the July TBR. But before we go into the books, let's talk about the June TBR contest. Each month I run a contest where you predict how I will score all of the books that I will read in the upcoming month. The top 3 spots win, and winners are highlighted in my TBR video. And if you win twice, you get to pick any book that you want for me to read and review. Last month we had 175 contestants, and I hope that you will join this month. Click the link in the description to officially submit your picks, and join the Discord to follow along with updates after each book. It's really fun. Tons of people follow along with that. Every time I finish a book, I will update the scores. You get to see, it's kind of like playing like fantasy football, but fantasy, if you will. The TBR winner for this month and getting the gold medal was Josiah Peterson, who got 7 out of 9 correct and was only off the average score by 0.06. The silver medal goes to Danny, who also got 7 out of 9 correct and was off the average by 0.17. And the bronze medal goes to 𝐒𝐨𝐴, who also got 7 out of 9 correct and was off the average by a score of 0.28. There was one other person who got 7 out of 9 correct, but was further off the average, so sucks to be that person. In the worst month so far for me, I only predicted 5 out of 9 correct. The book that most people got correct was The Howling Dark, the second novel in the Sun Eater series, and 130 out of 175 got that one right, which is 74.3%. And the book that most people got wrong was my score for Waybound, the final book in the Cradle series, and only 4 out of 175 got that right, which is 2.3%. The worst score out of the month was 1 out of 9 correct, shared by 7 people, and the average correct was 3.8. So let's go through the books, and if you're entering the contest, pay attention to what I have to say and see where you agree with me, and see where you'll be a departure. The first is The Lies of Loch Lamora. This is book 1 of The Gentleman Bastards by Scott Lynch. I am doing this on audiobook, and I should finish this up on July 2nd. It's 499 pages and about 184,000 words. This is the book that is currently ongoing in the buddy read. It's the first buddy read I've done on my channel on Discord. It's really fun. I'm almost done reading it. I'm a little ahead of everybody else, but it's just how I am sometimes. And pay attention a little bit later on this video, and I will disclose what the buddy read of this upcoming month is going to be, and I hope that you will join along with that. If you don't know what a buddy read is, think like a book club where we all read the book at kind of a set pace, and we talk about it on a daily basis. We have threads open for the chapters covered there, and you're only allowed to talk about those chapters. It's a ton of fun. I'm almost done with the book, though, so I don't really want to tell you what my thoughts are, because I'm sure that I'm going to score it the way my thoughts are, and I don't want every single person to get this one right, so I'm just going to have to leave you guessing. The next book is The Drawing of the Three. This is book 2 of The Dark Tower by Stephen King. I am also doing this one on audiobook, and I should finish this one up on July 3rd. This is 529 pages and 125,000 words. And this is only a day gap because I was almost done with this book, but then the buddy read started, and I was already committed to it, so I had to take a pause, and I'm getting back to it. I only have like a little bit left to listen to, so just like the other one, I'm not going to talk about this, and I'll have to leave you kind of guessing on what I think about it. And that's the last that I'm going to say that about. The rest of these, I'm going to give a guess, I promise. The next book that I will be reading is Yumi and the Nightmare Painter. This is Secret Project number 3, which is a standalone by Brandon Sanderson. I am doing this one on ebook. It comes out on July 1st, and I should finish this about July 4th. It's only 384 pages and about 94,000 words, and I'm going to go ahead and predict a 4-star prediction on this one. And I'm doing that based on knowing nothing about this book. I don't know anything that it's about. I do know that it's set within the 𝐂𝐨𝐧𝐿 because I knew that out of the 4 Secret Project books, only one of them was outside of the 𝐂𝐿𝐴𝐳, and that book already came out. That was the book that came out 3 months ago. And I generally enjoy 𝐂𝐿𝐴𝐳 books. I liked Tress of the Emerald Sea, which is 𝐂𝐿𝐴𝐳. I gave that a 5 out of 5. The other one, I think I gave like a 3.5 out of 5, maybe a 3. I don't totally remember at this point. But I think a 4 is a decent prediction for a shorter book set in the 𝐂𝐨𝐬𝐬. I'm just kind of hedging my bets here, and I'm going to stick with it. But yeah, we'll see. I'm excited to read it, though. I like Brandon Sanderson a lot, and I'm hoping for the best. Next is Blood of Elves. This is book 2 of the Witcher series by 𝐿 Sapkowski. I am doing this in audiobook. I should finish this up about July 9th. This is 416 pages and just about 100,000 words. And I'm going to predict 3 stars. Now, I read the first book, The Last Wish, and I gave that 4 stars. But in general, I've heard that the first book is better than the second. Now, I'm sure this isn't universally true. I'm positive it's not universally true, but I'm not a big fan of short stories. Now, I did like the first one, in part because I love the Witcher games, especially The Witcher 3. I'm actually playing The Witcher 3 right now, so maybe I should have guessed 4-star for this, because I'm in The Witcher, I'm in the world, you know. Maybe I'm going to be sucked more in than I normally would, but I'm committing to my 3-star, but I can't imagine I'm going to go lower than that, though, but we'll see. Probably a 3 or 4-star. I can't imagine it gets 5, but probably a 3 or 4-star. The next is The Veiled Throne, or Veiled? This is book 3 in the Dandelion Dynasty by Ken Liu. I'm doing this on ebook. I should finish this up around July 10th. This is 1,004 pages, so this is a chonker, and 350,000 words. And I'm going to do a 5-star prediction on this one. I am currently reading this one. I'm not very far, like 10% in. But I'm going to take a break from reading it to read the Yuumi and the Nightmare Painter, and then I'm going to get back into this one. But I love what I'm reading so far. And that's not the reason I'm going to say a 5-star prediction, though. I'm going to say 5-star prediction because books number 1 and 2 from the Dandelion Dynasty are solidly in my top 5 favorite all-time fantasy books. And so I have the highest of hopes that this third book is at least going to be a fantastic book, maybe better. I have heard almost universally that the third book is the worst in the Dandelion Dynasty, but I mean, is it going to be that much worse? I really like what I've read so far, and I love so much this world. I'm just captivated by this world. So yeah, I feel like this is a not very gutsy pick here by saying 5 stars. The next is going to be Waylander. This is book number 3 of the Draenei Saga by David Gemmell. I'm doing this one on audiobook, and I should finish around July 15th. This is only 320 pages and 82,000 words, and I'm going to predict 3 stars. I have been kind of mixed on my feelings of the Draenei Saga so far. I quite liked the first book, Legend. I did not really love the second book, The King Beyond the Gate. So I don't know. I heard from so many people that the second book is a knockoff of the first, which I agree with. But I haven't really heard anything about this one, other than everyone tells me to read this series. Everyone says that I'm going to love this series. I am very captivated that the setting is in this world. I'm very captivated with this idea that these books are not told in a cohesive fashion. It's jumping around in the past and the future of this world, and it's more of like a history of these Draenei people in this kind of medieval type of setting where it's telling a story covering hundreds of years. I mean, in the first one, you had the story being told in the first one. In the second one, you had a story being told like 100 years later. I love that concept. I don't get enough of that in fantasy. I think it's very gutsy. So I'm interested, but yeah, I'm guessing 3 stars. The next is To Ride Hell's Chasm. This is a standalone book by Janny Wurts, my first Janny Wurts book that I've ever read. I'm doing this in ebook. I should finish around July 17th. This is 704 pages and 221,000 words, and I'm going to predict 4 stars. I really don't know anything about this book other than who the author is. I don't know anything about it. It is a standalone, I know that. This book got picked for me on my Patreon raffle. So every month on my Patreon account, if you are in tiers 2 or above, you get to pick a book or more to enter into the raffle, and I spin it, and whatever wins, I have to read it. Now, that might sound intimidating to most people doing this, because who knows if you're going to like it, but that's how I found the Dandelion Dynasty, was through that. A lot of books that I ended up loving, I've been doing it this way. So there was only one book that I didn't really love that I've done this for, and I've done this for like 6 months now. So yeah, let's see. I'm going 4 stars. Next up is The Sword of Kagan. This is by M.L. Wang. This is in ebook, and I should finish this up around July 22nd. This is 649 pages, and 162,000 words, and I'm going to predict 4 stars. And this is the buddy read that I am doing. So I would highly encourage you, if you've never read this book before or have any interest in rereading this book, come join the Discord channel. We're going to be starting this one up, I think, July 17th or 18th. I'm not totally sure. I'll make a community post. I'll make a YouTube short. But come join the Discord channel if you're not already. In the buddy read section, you'll see a big link for Sword of Kagan or Kagan, whatever it's called. Tons of people are already committed to reading it. I think we have, and last time I checked, I think it was around 20 people that are going to be doing it, which is a ton. Should be a blast. And this is a great excuse to finally read it if you haven't. This is a immensely popular and kind of more of like a cult following from this book, but super looking forward to it. The next is Empire in Black and Gold. This is book 1 in the Shadows of the Apt series by Adrian 𝐒𝐨𝐬𝐿. Not sure. I should have researched that first, but I didn't. I'm doing this in ebook, and I should finish this up near the end of the month, around July 27th. This is 612 pages and about 153,000 words, and I'm going to guess 4 stars, knowing nothing about it other than it doesn't get great ratings on Goodreads. And in general, I like books that are higher rated on Goodreads. Not always, but in general. But my buddy Ben from Books with Ben Giscon loves this book, and I almost always agree with him. So I gotta think that I'm at least gonna feel a 4 out of 5 on this. This is the book that won the Patreon vote. So every month I put 4 or 5 books in a vote, books that I plan on reading sometime in the future, and the highest one that I will read in the following month. So yeah. I hope that I fall in love with this, and I think there's a lot of books in this series, but it seems like something that might be up my alley, but I don't really know much about it. Then is Before They're Hanged. This is book 2 of The First Law by Joe Abercrombie. I am doing this in audiobook. I should finish this up around July 29th. It is 560 pages and 198,000 words, and this is a 5-star prediction, and not a very gutsy one, because I love this book. This is a reread. I'm doing this in audio. I love the audiobooks. For The First Law is currently standing my second favorite series of all time behind Malazan. I just love this book. And what, am I going to not like it the second time I read it? In general, I like books more when I reread them because I already know the characters and I fall in love even more than originally. So yeah, easy prediction of 5 stars. And if anybody votes for this less than 5 stars, I don't know what you're doing. Then is the last book that I'm reading this month, and it will be Silverthorne. This is book 3 of the Rift War Saga by Raymond E. Feist. I'm doing this on ebook. I should finish this up the last day of the month on July 31st. This is only 343 pages and 147,000 words, and I'm going to predict 4 stars. Now, I might not get around to this one because I'm really cutting it close here. The last day of the month, so I may fall behind and it gets pushed to the next month, but I'm throwing it in just in case. I really loved the first book, 5 out of 5. I quite liked the second book. I think a 4.5 out of 5. Let's see. The trajectory is not going the right way. That's why I'm going 4 stars. But in general, I do like Raymond E. Feist. I'm very interested in where the story goes. I don't have any concept of where the story is going to go because it feels like things are kind of wrapping up. But that's just how it is sometimes. So those are the books that I'm reading. Please go enter the contest at the link down below. I super encourage it, and please join the Discord to join in the fun all along. So, thanks so much for watching, and as always, happy reading to you. Thanks again to all my patrons, with a special shout out to my Ascendant tier and Librarian tier patrons: Anna G, Brian, CJ, Darren, Jonathan, My Book is Lit, Nathan T, Nev's Book Channel, Ron Reich, Russell, Ryan L, Anna, Andra, Angelo, Ben, Blair, Brock, Evan, Jen B, Harry B, Jamie, Jeff Pixler, Maria, Michael Sugarman, Sky, TW57, Wacky, and Zion.